Hello everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to use the Leisurewize Portawash portable twin tub washing machine. Now the instructions supplied with this machine and other similar machines on the market are pretty poor, so I thought I'd make you a video of how I use this machine to get the best results. When you purchase this washing machine, you'll find it fully assembled and ready to use. You do get two accessories included. The spinner mat, which goes on top of the wet clothes in the spinner, and this fill hose. Now the best thing you can do with this fill hose is to throw it directly into the bin because it's no use nor ornament. They're absolutely rubbish. It doesn't fit onto a tap, doesn't fit onto a caravan tap. In fact, I don't know why manufacturers supply it. What I would suggest to you is look on Amazon or eBay and buy yourself a fill hose like this. Just search twin tub washing machine fill hose and you'll get something that's more suitable. This will fit onto the end of many taps and this bare end will actually fill your wash tub for you. The controls on this washing machine are fairly straightforward. You get two different wash actions, a gentle wash for your more delicate items and a normal setting for everything else. You've also got a drain setting that allows you to empty the wash tub. In the center here we have a timer up to 15 minutes and here on the end a spin timer up to 5 minutes. This portable washing machine is very similar to the old-fashioned twin tubs you may remember your mother or grandmother using. So we have two tubs, one for the washing and one for spin drying. Instead of having a rotating drum like you get with an automatic washing machine, the wash tub remains stationary and the pulsator at the bottom of the tub rotates backwards and forwards to agitate the clothes in the water. Then of course when you've washed you rinse, then spin in the spin dryer. Now the quoted capacity for washing is 3.5 kilograms and for spin drying it's 2.5, but you'll find in practice how many clothes you can put in at one time. If you overload it you'll find that they don't wash well and the machine will struggle. You need to be able to see the clothes rotating at the top in order for them to become clean, so don't overload it. I'll show you what happens if you overload it later in the video. So the first thing I need to do is to fill the wash tub with warm water and detergent. One thing I need to point out about this washing machine is it doesn't have a drain pump, so when you turn the selector dial to drain it just opens a valve and the water drains out of the wash tub via gravity. This means you have to have the wash tub higher than the drain hose in order for the water to drain out effectively. This is the drain hose that's permanently attached. So basically you need to either raise the machine up and empty the water into a bucket, or if you're in a caravan or motorhome, it is possible if you put an extension hose onto here, you could drain it into your waste hog or an outside drain. I'm going to do this demonstration in a kitchen, and for me the best way of showing you how it works is actually putting this unit on the kitchen worktop next to the sink. Now because I've got the washing machine at height, it's obviously going to be a little bit more awkward to load and unload the washing, so if you're not very tall you may need to stand on a sturdy step. Wherever you place the washing machine though, make sure it's on a firm and stable surface. So once you've found a suitable location for your machine, it's time to fill it up. So I'm going to use the hose I bought that fits the tap. Obviously that little plastic thing would not fit my mixer tap. And then I'm going to put this end of the hose into the wash tub. Now you can either fill the machine directly into the wash tub, alternatively you can remove this cap and connect the fill hose directly into the inlet here. Obviously you don't have to use the hose to fill the machine, you can use a bucket or any other suitable water container. The amount of water you add depends on the size and absorbency of your wash load, but I tend to fill mine up to about the top of the lint filter and I can always add more water as needed. I always put the water and detergent in first before adding the clothes. That way you can ensure that the detergent, whether powder or liquid, is thoroughly dissolved. Obviously the usual rules of washing apply. Separate your lights from your darks and don't wash at too high a temperature for the fabric. Now the maximum temperature permissible to use in this washing machine is about 50 degrees, which is hand hot water. So nothing too hot because you could damage the machine. So I'm just putting in a mixture of mainly long sleeved t-shirts and a few pairs of socks and a couple of leisure shorts. Now that'll do for now. I might have to top that up. I'm going to switch the machine on. It's going to be on the normal cycle. I'll put it on for a few minutes. Now if you see the machine struggling, you know either you need to add a little bit more water or remove some of the clothes. So that's the wash load done. I'm now going to transfer it into the spinner for the first spin. Make sure the spin mat is out of the bottom of the spinner and then carefully transfer the clothes over. Because the spinner is smaller than the wash tub, you might find you can't put quite so many clothes in. Be careful obviously if the water's hot. Try and avoid dripping it everywhere. Just pop it over. That's not quite the full load, but that'll do. Now when you're using the spinner, make sure that the load is pressed down and it's evenly distributed. If it's not, you'll find that the machine will vibrate a lot. You need to stop it and then start the spin again. You might have to take some clothes out or just redistribute the load. The reason I'm spinning it first is because we can get rid of a lot of the soapy water before I start the rinse process. Before you start the spin, you need to ensure that the drain hose is unhooked from the back of the machine and directed into the sink or an outside drain. Continue spinning until most of the water is extracted. If you need to stop the spin at any time, simply open the lid and the brake will automatically stop the spinner. At this stage we can remove the washing from the spin dryer and place them into the wash basket ready for the first rinse. Now obviously we've got slightly larger wash load today, so I can transfer the rest of the washing that's left in the tub over into the spinner section, and then we can spin these in the same way. That's everything gone. At this stage you can actually empty the wash tub as well, ready to fill it with the rinse water. So it's only a small load there, so I'll spin that and at the same time I'll start to drain the wash water from the wash tub. Once all the water has emptied from the wash tub, turn the wash selector dial back to normal. You can now start adding the cold water for the first rinse. We can now add the washed and spun clothes into the rinse water. By spinning them after the first wash, we are getting a lot of the detergent out, so you might find only 2 rinses are necessary. If you've got delicate skin or sensitive skin, you might want to give it 3 or up to 4 rinses. So that's the wash load in. Now I'll just select the wash timer just for a few minutes for the initial first rinse. So that's the first rinse done. Now we have to transfer the clothes back into the spinner for another spin. Again, we're going to transfer part of the wash load. It does tangle up the clothes a bit, this washer, so you might have to untangle the garments. That'll do. Press down the wash load in the spinner. Make sure, of course, that the drain hose is pointing down to the drain or the sink. Pop the mat back on, close the lid and select the spin timer. Now I thought I'd show you an example of what happens when the load is unbalanced. As you can see, it was shaking about. So if that happens, open the lid. We might be able to put a bit more in actually. Sometimes it's unbalanced because you've not got enough clothing in the spinner. So we'll just put some more in. I think I'll only need one more rinse actually. The water is pretty black in here, and it's not because I've got really dirty clothes, it's because a lot of the dye has come out of the darker items. Well, that's actually the full load I've washed, so I probably could have got a little bit more washing in than I have shown you, but this is just to show you what to do. So pop the mat back in and we'll try again. While that's spinning, we can select the drain selector and we can empty the wash tub at the same time. So I'll just turn the drain selector now. So now the water is draining out of the wash tub, ready for the final rinse. But now these need another spin, so let's hope it's a bit more balanced. Okay, so that's the second spin completed. I'm filling the wash tub with the second rinse. I've made sure that the wash selector is in the normal position. If you leave it in drain, the water is obviously just going to flow out. So now we can transfer the clothes back from the spinner. And as I said, I think 2 rinses is fine for this load. Now what I should have done before adding the clothes, if you want to add fabric softener, do it on the final rinse. And again, like when you add the detergent, it's always best to put the softener in before you put the clothes in, but I've forgotten to do that, so I'll try and get some of the softener just in the water, just to make them a bit softer and smell fresher. Okay, well that's the rinse finished with the softener, and now time to transfer all the washing back for the final spin. Because this is the final spin, I tend to do it a little bit longer than the interim spins, just to extract as much water as I can from the wash load. Again, press it down. You can hear the water draining out of the tub already. There we go. And we can pop the spin mat back on the top. And again, now at this stage, we can start draining the wash tub by turning the selector to drain. And simultaneously, we can spin the wash load. Well, there you go, that's the wash finished. Now I'm ready to either hang the clothes out or pop them in a tumble dryer. And you can get small compact tumble dryers, by the way. Yes, believe it or not. As you can see, it does tend to tangle the clothes up a bit, but it doesn't take too much effort to untangle them. And you know, they're damp. They're slightly damper than they would be out of an automatic washing machine. Certainly my automatic washing machine would probably extract a bit more water, but really it's not bad at all. There we go. That's the whole wash load done. Well, that's nearly the end of the video on this washing machine. I hope I've covered everything you need to know. If you've got any further questions, please comment below and I'll do my best to answer them. Now, before I go, there are a few little maintenance tips I can show you to keep your washer operating efficiently. The first thing you need to do after each wash is to clean the lint filter. You'll find a lint filter at the side of the wash tub here. You need to remove it. It's a little bit stiff, but pull it upwards. You might have to jiggle it about, and you can see inside this mesh there's all the bits of fibres and fluff from that load of laundry, so you just need to pick those off. You can rinse this under the tap, get as much off as you can. Normally it's okay just to pick off the bits, and then relocate it into the wash tub by sliding it back into position. It's always a good idea to give the wash tub a bit of a dry before you're putting it away, both the wash tub and the spin tub. Dry the lids as well, and if you can, leave it with the lids open so air can circulate. I expect some of you are thinking that's a lot of effort to go to wash some laundry. You're far better getting an automatic washer like this, pressing a button and walking away. Of course it is better, but you can't take a big automatic like this in your caravan or motorhome. If you're in student accommodation, you probably can't have a full-size washing machine. If you're going to the laundrette a lot, want to stay at home and do your washing, then for around £100 I think it's a good buy. So there you go, that's the Leisurewize portable twin tub washing machine. I think it's pretty good value for money if you're looking for a machine like this. My two major problems with it, of course, are the terrible fill hose and the fact that it doesn't have a pump to pump out the water. So bear in mind, as I said earlier, you have to have this above the level of the drain in order for it to drain properly. Apart from that, I think it's a pretty good machine. That's all for today. I'll see you all very soon for another video. Bye for now.